Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, I'm John, this is Video Truenet, and welcome to Dicey Dungeons, which is a sort of dungeon crawler thing, I guess, from the same brains that brought us Super Hexagon and VVVVVV. I've never been quite sure how to pronounce that, so I'm just going to assume that's correct, which to my mind suggests a design philosophy of take simple idea, execute just flipping beautifully. And so here we are in Dicey Dungeons, a game about basically rolling some dice. And before we get going, this is a very early version of this, still an alpha, not feature complete, diddly diddly day. So first things first, we have to pick ourselves a dice to play as. I'm going to start as the warrior, because he's the simplest, so it's the easiest to explain the game with. So I am a warrior, this cute little blue dice here, and I just move around this dungeon, running into enemies and trying to find chests where I can get myself some loot. Right now I'm level 1, I've got 24 hit points, and more importantly, I currently have 2 dice. Now despite the fact that it just looks like a bat, it's actually a vacuum, but okay, you know what, that's absolutely fine. So because I've got 2 dice, I've understandably rolled 2 dice. I happen to have rolled a 5 and a 5, which is absolutely flipping perfect, because I've got myself a sword and a combat roll. The sword, I can put any dice into this box as long as it is 5 or less. A 6 weirdly is what a warrior doesn't want to roll, because a warrior can't actually use the 6. So we actually need to put the dice into there, 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5, where you do the same amount of damage, so 5 is optimal, which is why we've got this combat roll over here, where basically if I were to get, say, I don't know, a 6 and a 1, I could put one of them in here just to re-roll it a couple of times. So the warrior has a bit of an ability to move his dice around, which is very, very nice indeed. So I've already got the 5 I need, so just shove that into there, and this dice therefore is useless, so we're simply going to end the turn. Beautiful. So you've already taken out half your hit points. He does an attack to me, where he's basically just actually stolen one of my health, so he's back up to 6 out of 10, and I've taken a hit as well. So here we go, a 1 and a 2. So now we just basically re-roll. The 6 is not useful to me. 4's not bad, so I'll keep the 4 as a security, and that's a 3. So in which case, we take the 4, and we do that damage, absolutely flipping marvellous. End my turn, he gets another attack in. He can't use his blood suck because that's got a max of 4, so he literally couldn't do anything. So he's only got 2 hit points, may as well just shove that straight in there. Marvellous, the vacuum has been defeated. So that therefore gets me 1 gold and 1 star, which is effectively experience. So yeah, I need 2 more stars. So a level 1 enemy gives you 1 star, level 2 enemies give you 2 stars, etc, etc, etc. And obviously leveling up is good, because leveling up means you've got more dice. However, we also need equipment. I've found a wooden shield, so I can put a max of 4 in there, and that gives me shield points of that number, basically just reducing incoming damage by that amount. Equip that now immediately, because I've got myself an equipment screen. So basically, yeah, every single item that I can have equipped fills a number of slots. So some are very small, some are big, some actually need like 2 vertical, some need 2 horizontal, things like that, and spares I can just keep in my backpack. So I can actually just swap in and out equipment as I want to, in order to, like, you know, try out new combos. Bear in mind the sword and the shield, that they're both pretty good, also take up quite a bit of space, so I can't have that many other abilities. Still, let's just move on down here to the frog. So I need to take on a frog who's got himself a giant sword and a shield by the looks of things. So good start for me here, because I've already got myself the 5. So sword, do 5 damage. This 5's not useful because max 4 is on the shield. 2 wouldn't be terrible. You know what, I'm going to take the 3 rather than actually gamble on the reroll, because if that ends up as a 5 or a 6, I can't use this at all. So now I've got 3 shield points. End my turn right there. He comes in with a 6, but that only actually does 3 damage to me because I had the 3 damage reduction off my shield. Very, very useful indeed. Now, this doesn't look so good for me at all. He's got 1 shield as well, by the way. That 3 I'll keep for the time being, and okay, you know what, I'll reroll one of those 3s. Shame. Okay, didn't work out so well this time. Do 3 damage, but actually only 2 damage because he had the shield as well, and put up another 2 shield points. Shield points do carry over, by the way, if they don't actually get burnt by the enemy, and ooh, he's got himself a good turn there. And he couldn't use his shield though, because that's max 4. It's the same as I'm actually using. Right, I'm going to combat roll my 3. There's the 5. In fact, actually, I think I could have ended that fight immediately because he only had 3 hit points and no shield up. So, that is a gold and an experience point. Lovely. Move on to floor number 2. I assume there's only 5 floors. I've not actually got to the end yet, because this game gets a little bit on the tricky side. Ooh. I assume that's a blacksmith or something. I don't know. So, select equipment to upgrade. Oh, my sword's pretty good. So, I could upgrade my sword. So, max of 5 or... ooh. Yeah, if I can. Is that just a freebie? Ooh, I assume that's only a one-off thing. Fine. So now if I roll a 6, my sword can actually do damage 6. So a little bit more reliable. Alchemist, level 2, or Gardener, level 1. Go for the level 1 because that will get me up to level 2, which will get me what I need. And, absolutely spot on, I've actually now got myself 6 damage with my sword. Beautiful. So now just reroll my 2 until I get, ideally a 4. No, come on. You know what, I was better off before I began rerolling, but whatever. That's the luck of the roll. End my turn there with shield 2 up, and this guy's got... he's got himself the shovel ability. If he can get that up to a 6, and he's got the ability to boost anything that's like a 4 up to a 6 with his boost abilities, yeah, he can actually weaken my skills. Luckily, he actually decided to weaken my shield there. So now my shield has a max of 2 rather than a max of 4. I can still do 5 damage to him, which is pretty decent. And now I just need to reroll this to Perfect World. You know what? I should have actually re-rolled before I put the 5 in, then I could have actually got the 6 in. One more, come on, give me a 1 or a 2. No, that's a shame, so that dice cannot do anything. And he's going to boost that to a 6 and do another, 6 damage and weaken 1, which is not fun. Still, he has actually left himself wide open here, so I can just do some damage. Marvelous. And 1 gold, 1 star. I hit level 2. You get free heal when you level up. More hit points. I also get myself an extra dice. And I get to choose the rewards too. So, Spiked Shield. If I roll an even, I can do that much damage. Or if I roll an odd, I can do that much shield. Honestly, that's probably better than my existing shield. Because then, actually, I can use a 5 or a 6 on it. Boomerang do 2 times damage. But it backfires. It's got splashback. No, I'll go for the shield. I will go for that. Right, let's have a little look see at my equipment nice and quickly. I'm going to put my spike shield in and... Oh, can I not swap it around? Hang on. I want it to be here. I'd like it to be... Thank you. I'll keep this for now because there's no point kind of putting it away because then if I needed to, I could really just stack up that defense if I felt like that was necessary. So yeah, right now I've got a massive sword upgraded and also double shield. So, let's go and take on a level... Oh, actually, hang on. No need to do that. I've got a bunch of chests right here. So, I have found a matchstick. So, if I put an odd dice into that, burns a dice. Okay, burning basically means the enemy can use that dice next turn, but if they do, they'll take some damage. So basically, I'm just laying a trap on an enemy dice, which is pretty good. So I'll put that in my backpack. That's very, very nice indeed. And the other one, bump. I can increase a dice value +1 by shoving that in there. Okay, fine. So if I put a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in there, it becomes a 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Very, very nice indeed. Okay. In which case, time to shuffle around some equipment. Get rid of that old wooden shield, and I've got space for the bump and the matchstick. Could be very, very useful right there. So that's my new loadout. Time to go use that against an alchemist, level 2. Marvelous. So, what have we got here? Yeah, so now I've got these 4 abilities. By the way, as time goes on, I'm also filling up a little thing down here. So I've got my Fury ability, because this meter's now filled up. It just fills up over time when you take damage. So if I wanted to use that, basically, I hit this button, and then I do something twice in a row. So if I had, say, this 5, if I put this into my sword, that does 5 damage. But if I hit Fury first, that does 5, then 5 again for 10 damage. So that is very, very useful indeed as the special warrior ability. Each class has a different thing they can do. And of course, I just get a free combat roll because the warrior just seems to get that. So, let's see what the best thing for me to do here is. So, probably bump my 5 up to a 6 and throw that at her for a nice, easy 6 damage. Lovely. That leaves me with a 4 and a 1. I can burn one of her dice immediately, so that's probably a good use for a 1. Though, of course, I could have re-rolled that 1, but honestly, it's probably fine. And then this 4 right here... I could try and re-roll that and hope for a 6 or another 4. I've got 3 re-rolls, or I could just take 4 damage. Yeah, you know what? I'm just going to take 4 damage. So that's another 4 damage, and she's got a burn 1 on her right now. End my turn, and if she wants to use that 1, there we go, she takes more damage. Okay, so the way her spells work are, when you see numbers written like that, it just means any combination of dice you throw at that has to get down to 0 to be used. So she basically just needed to make everything stack up to 10. So actually, can I finish her off this turn? I could if I Furied, which might not be the worst thing in the world to do. Yeah, go on then, why not? It's a useful thing to do. So I'm just going to bump this to a 6, I'm going to Fury, then I'm going to shove the 6 into my upgraded sword. 6, 6 again. Absolutely marvellous. And then I just need... Actually, I'll keep the... Actually, I may as well just reroll the 1. There we go. 6. 6 damage. Job done. So she has been finished off. 1 gold and 2 XP. I need another 6 to level up to level 3. Marvellous. The warrior is going pretty well for me. This apple is worth an extra 5 hit points. So I'm back up to full strength. And a new item. Claw. So that does damage of 1, 2, or 3 if I put a 1, 2, or 3 in it. And also adds 2 poison, which is just damage over time. It's pretty good, actually. You know what? I might actually swap out the matchstick for that. Because then, yeah, I can actually put a status condition on the tougher enemies. So, pull the matchstick off, put the claw on instead. That strikes me as a useful thing to do nice and early on. Now, I can just move straight down to floor 3, or I can fight this wizard. He's level 2 and there's a shop behind him. This is what I'm gathering gold for. So I've got 4 gold. I'll have 5 if I kill this guy. Yeah, sure. Let's take on a wizard. Oh, 32 health. That's quite a lot. Still, this is probably a useful thing for me to be, yeah, using with the claw. So let's do 3 damage and also put 2 poison on him right now. So he just starts taking a bit of damage over time. Now I can bump the 4 up to a 5 or I could start re-rolling. I don't know what the wizard's going to do. I can't remember what his abilities are if I've seen him before. I'm going to re-roll one of these. 2. No, come on. No, that's even worse. Right, exactly back where I started. Well, let's boost that up to a 5. Now, the question is, do I want 5 shield and do 4 damage? Or do I want to do 5 damage with the sword and then another 4 damage on top? I think I'll actually take the shield, because this guy seems a little bit tougher. So let's get 5 shield up and then do 4 damage to him. So I could have done way more damage, but I chose to play defensively. So he takes a bit of damage right there, and he's got himself, yeah, a whole bunch of spells in his spell book. He just decided to go massive defensively as well. So he's now got basically 5 hit points of defense in front of him. I've got to cut through those before I can do anything right now. And you may notice my limit's back down to empty. I think it fills up when you take damage, not when you deal it. Okay, let's just boost my 5 up to a 6. So now I've got a double 6. So I can do that to get rid of that immediately. Then I can just shove this into here and do another 6 damage. Now I just need to re-roll this 5 for... Okay, the question is, do I take that or do I... Okay, I'm going to go for another re-roll. Come on, a 2 or a 3. No, I shouldn't have re-rolled. Damn it, I shouldn't have done. That's a shame. Right, this 6 is now useless. End the turn, so I don't get more poison. But he did just take 2 rounds of poison, so the poison has now actually... Oh! Okay, so his spellbook had a bit of a backfiring spell, and good. He rolled a 1 and that screwed him over, which is marvellous. Because, yeah, he's only got 1 dice, but he's got some very powerful abilities, but some ones that kind of suck as well. So he's a bit of a high-risk, high-reward type character. Okay, so this doesn't seem that good. Toss the 3 in there. That's nice. Now start re-rolling. 1, no. Come on. Okay, 5. Re-roll this. 4. Alright, that's okay then. Because now I can put the 6 over here and the 4 in here, and he's done. Nice. Okay, so Wizard is finished off right there. More gold, halfway up towards level 3, and I've got myself a shop. Okay, what do we have here? So, Midnight Charm. If I actually fill that up with... Oh, that's interesting. If I put 12 into that, then I get 2 6s back in return. That's very, very interesting indeed. So basically, yeah, if I had like a 4, a 4, and a 4, I could swap them for a double 6, which could potentially be a lot more useful. But then again, that fills up 2 slots because it's big. And I've only got 6 slots, so I'm going to leave that. Buckler, if I put 7 into that, I get 4 to shield. Honestly, I'm happier with my spiked shield. Dagger. This one's interesting, because this one's reusable. So if you actually had loads of dice, you could just keep shoving them into the dagger over and over and over. Max of 3, though. Honestly, are any of these that good? You know what, I'm going to buy the dagger. I'm not going to equip it immediately. I'm just going to put it in the backpack, but could be of interest. Down to floor number 3, where, okay... I've got myself an apple, but I don't need it just yet. Oh, there's another shop right here. I bet this is going to be better. Broadsword, I've already got that, fine. So my sword upgrade is the same as the broadsword. Snake-Eyed Charm. Put a 6 in, roll double 1s. Not useful for me, but if you had the right other abilities, could be very, very useful indeed. The Buckler again, fine. Leave that, nothing good there. We've got one more item down here as well. A bump. I've already got a bump, but there's nothing to stop you having double bump. That's sort of interesting. I mean, if I had double bump, in place of claw, I could move a 4 up to a 6. But I'd rather have the claw, because then a 1, 2, and a 3 actually has quite a lot of use. Yeah, you know, I'm going to stick with my current loadout, move over to Baby Squid, who also has 2 dice. Fine. 6 can go in there straight away. I see no reason why not. And then I can do another 6. Yeah, bump that to 6. Do another 6 damage. Reroll this for, yeah, 2 will do, just for safety. Poison for 2 turns and already half health. That's a pretty good opening move for me. He's down to 12. So he's got Ink Splat and Headbutt, depending on whether he rolls odd or even. Honestly, he hasn't done that much to me. Oh! Or maybe he did, because I seem to have all 1s at the minute, which is a concern. Fine, I'm going to use one of those, just to actually get the poison on him. And then I just need to... I suspect one of his abilities is I'm stuck rolling 1s at the minute. Yes, okay. Well, can I at least bump it? Okay, I can bump that at the bare minimum. So I can do 2 damage, put a shield on myself. Okay, it's not perfect, but I'm guessing that's your... Yeah, blind. Forces snake eyes. Oh no. No, it's not. Okay, that's completely unrelated. So now I don't know what this is. Okay, can I don't know. If I boost it... Okay, it was a 4. Fine, so now I can see it again. So now it's a 5, which is not that bad at all. So I'm just gonna 5 damage you, and then, you know, I can just finish you off. Boom. Baby Squid's taken care of. And he did something to force a whole bunch of 1s on me, but we're okay. Now, new chest, broadsword, already got that, shove it in the backpack. That's 5 health, take that. Now, level 3 fireman, level 3 snowman. Let's start off with fireman. He is weak to ice. Well, I don't have any of that. Oh, he looks so happy. Now I feel bad about the fact I'm about to try and murder him. Right, well, take the 6. Or actually, I could fury. Don't know how tough he is. That's the thing. Right, put the claw on him immediately. And then re-roll this for... Oh, wow. 6 and 6. Okay. Let's just get some big old damage on him. Yeah, the warrior, very good at just dishing out the damage. So what have you got? Fireball. Ah, you specialise in burning dice and doing quite a bit of damage too. So, if I want to touch those dice now, I immediately take 2 damage. So basically, if I want to do pretty much anything this turn, he's going to screw me over even further. But I kind of have to. That 6 is very important. In fact, I'd like this battle to be over sooner rather than later. Now, actually, if I could roll yes, okay, so I can not touch that one, because 3, Fury, touch just the 6, put that into sword, finished. Nice, so that means I didn't have to take damage off the other burnt dice. So that gets me, there we go, a full heal. I am now level 3, an extra dice as well, and, ooh, okay, shield grip. Needs a double, but bashes with a shield to do, ooh, okay. Right, interesting. To do shield... Oh, whatever my current shield damage is. If I'm reading that right, that's not very good. I'm going to take an upgrade instead. So, what can I actually have here? So, the sword can't be done. The spike shield could become even... Ah, it's exactly the same. It's just taking up half space. The bump becomes... Wait, there's no limit of... I could put a 6? How does a 6 become a 7? Alright, fine. And that is just +1. It's just +1 damage. You know what? Having an extra slot, I'm going to go for that. I'm just going to upgrade my spike shield to take up less space. Beautiful. So that's pretty good. Okay, so that gives me a new slot. Though I like this still being over here. I could put matchstick back in, or I could bring double bump. Okay. That is... Yeah, I'm bringing matchstick back in. I like matchstick. Matchstick is fun. Right, okay. You, my good man. By any chance, are you weak to fire? Well, that's just marvellous, because I just happen to have brought in a matchstick. So one of my wands can just go in there. So put that on him. So one of his dice is burnt. So normally he'd take 2 damage from that, but I'm going to guess that's doubled up because he's weak to fire. Beautiful. Next up, we're going to be needing... Yeah, I'm just going to put the claw on you right now. Let's start re-rolling these. Come on. 5 or a 6. Come on, something a bit better than that. You know what? I'll take a 4 and a 4. That's you. And... Why didn't you bump, John? You had a bump, right? I forgot to bump. Never mind. Well, he's going to take himself, if he uses that, yeah, there we go. He just took 4 damage rather than 2 of touching that one, but he is freezing me, which unfortunately, ouch, yes, a frozen dice gets reduced down to 1, So, this isn't so great. On the plus side, I've got my... Yeah, you know what? I can burn, I can claw, and I can reroll. There's 6 right there. Nice. Oh, there's 6 too. Oh, wow. Okay. So, I'm just going to take that double 6 for Spike. He's down to 5. In fact, if he touches that burning dice, he's going to die because the poison's about to hurt him. The poison's going to take him down to 2. If he touches that 6, he's auto-done. So, he can't touch that. But very cleverly, he's... Oh! He chose not to touch it. Well, that's fine. That's absolutely fine. We can just finish this guy off right now. Just a quick sword on 3. Finishes you. Job flipping done. Very, very nice indeed. And that gets me a whole bunch of XP as well. Down to floor 4, though. Don't forget, yeah, the apple. Alright. Here we go. So, things are going to start getting nastier pretty soon. Handyman level 3. There's a shop behind a level 4 Cornelius. And there's also a level 4 skeleton. Right, so I have to go through a level 4 enemy after I've taken out this guy. So 3 dice, 34 hit points. So he's got more than me right now. Okay, but I have an excellent roll right here. I could Fury this guy if I wanted to. Okay, what's the best way to go about this? Probably hit him with that. I'm going to Fury and go for the 12 damage right there. I'm going to hit him with the Claw as well. The 5... I could boost it, but it doesn't do anything. I'm better off just matchsticking him. Right, so he's got a burn and 2 turns of poison on him. So that's 2 damage right there, and his 2 is burnt. He takes that in order to... Oh, he just did a double 2. Ouch, that's a hammer and a shock as well. He uses pea shooter. Pea shooter's kind of garbage. It's just very low damage for quite a few dice, but he has shocked me, which means I need to throw a dice into my sword to unlock it. Now, actually... I don't need to, because screw you, I can just kill you right now with the shield bash and the claw. Nice. So that was doable. Now the problem is, what's next? I don't know what a Cornelius is exactly, but in we flipping go. Oh, bloody hell. Right. 98 hit points. I regret fighting the Cornelius. Okay, time to use every single one of my abilities to its absolute flipping best. So, get the poison on him, get the matchstick on him, and then, yeah, you know what? Play defensively. Do that, but then get 5 shields. That's pretty good. So, I'm pretty well defended. He's lost about 10% of his health. He takes that. Oh, he only gets 1. Oh, flip. Sorry, was that 99? Okay, right, that's why he's got so much health, because if he ever actually is able to get down to, yeah, filling up that, he basically auto-kills you. He is a one-hit nightmare, but it takes him 10 million years to charge it up. Okay, well, this is all fine for me. I can just basically keep tossing poison and burn at him. I think we can easily take care of that. Yeah, he's actually got to get that down to 0 before it does anything, at which point it just basically auto-kills me. But it looks like I can easily kill him before that happens, so this should not actually be too much of a problem. Oh wait, hang on. He's getting more and more dice. His dice are actually... Oh, he gets an extra dice every turn. Oh, this is more of a concern than I thought it was going to be. Right. Okay, yes, I'm starting to see the problem here. I need to re-roll this down to, you know what, screw it, 1 will do. He's down to 17. I think we're okay, but I'm concerned that he gets extra dice every single time, which is a problem. Right, matchstick him. Okay, now he's got 5 dice. Okay, he's still got like 60 to go, and that wasn't a great roll for him. So he's almost dead, and he's still got like half his charge up to. Okay, he's scary. He is one scary bastard, but thankfully, the warrior is well set up to take him out. Bloody hell, though. Now, the shop. I've got 8 gold, so I should be able to buy anything. So, requires a double, discharge 0 damage, lose health to recharge. Okay, anything that involves me losing health is a no. So I think we'll be leaving that, thank you. Okay, charge up my health. Check out whatever this is. A pea shooter. No, I hate the pea shooter. Like, literally, yeah, 5. 5 that needs to be added up for 2 damage reusable. It's not very good. And... a loud bird, level 4. Right, well, let's start off with a level 4 skeleton. Only 44 hit points. Fine, not quite so flipping ridiculous, but still a little bit on the worrying side. Bump my 5 up to a 6. Do the 6 damage right there. Take the 2 on the claw. This needs to be re-rolled too. There's a 3. I'm going to reroll this as well. Okay, that actually works for me. I'll take 3 shield and 1 burn. Okay. So he does... Okay. He needs... Oh, hang on. I thought that was a double. We just put 2 in there. Maybe it just means any 2 dice that are less than 5 to make that work. Honestly, it doesn't seem... Cursed. Okay. He's put a curse on me. So that means some of my dice will just sort of go missing occasionally. So I still get the 6. The rest of this I'll probably go as it is, but one of these dice is just going to disappear. So, yeah, there we go. That one was cursed. So, in which case, burn him, do 4 damage. I don't know if it's, like, random or if it, like, picks which dice it's going to be at the beginning of the turn. I'm not sure. So, he takes the poison, and the 4 is going to lead to him. Ouch, 9 damage. You put 2 dice in, it's the combined total with a max of 5 for both slots. Got it. So, we can do a maximum of 10. Gotcha. Honestly, 10 off 2 dice isn't exactly spectacular. It's okay, but not great. Alright, this seems pretty decent. Put the claw on him. Burn him as well. And now, the 4 will be pretty good for the spiked shield. I am ready for Fury. So if I could just get... Yeah, if I could get a 5. Come on, give me a 5 or a 6. Give me a 5 or 6. Okay, cool. In which case, I can just actually hit you for double. And now, finish you off. Job done. Nice. So we're ready to level up at this point. I am level 4. Nice. An extra dice. Midnight Charm. I didn't really like Midnight Charm. It just takes up too much space. Though, then again, now I've got all these extra dice. Maybe it is worth it. Is it? No, I like my existing. Let's actually consider what I can upgrade. What does Matchstick do with an upgrade? So, anything can be burnt. Not that great. Claw goes up. I kind of want to take Bump, just because I kind of want to see what happens if you put a 6 into a Bump. Like, what does a 7 dice look like? What is this abomination? Yeah, screw it, I'm upgrading Bump. I want to see a 7, damn it. Now, unfortunately, there's something else now. A mysterious loud bird that looks like that. Okay, it's just a bird with some headphones on. Marvellous. Okay, 46. It's got 5 as well. And I've got, plenty of dice. I like all the dice I've got, quite frankly. Okay, get some damage in there. I should have put the... Okay, John, remember the one thing you wanted to test. Right, get another on him right there. This is good. This is good. And actually, I've got more dice than I can use. But then again, that needs to be odd. Okay, so I can put double burn on him. Right, so he's now got burn on 2 dice, which is actually quite significant. So he's got, there we go, double dice. So there we go, look at that, an extra 4 damage off that. He has silenced me, and he is guaranteed a dodge on whatever the next attack is. I don't know what that actually means. And, break the silence. So I need, 2 dice to break silence. Ouch, that's a bit harsh. Actually, that's my combat roll. No, screw that, I can do without my combat roll. This looks like a pretty good roll anyway. I think I can just do with what I've got. Right, I'm going to bump my 6. And that's... Sorry, I upgraded my bump. And it lets me turn my 6 into a 1. Thank you. Thank you so much, game. I appreciate this. Now, there we go. That one missed automatically because he had the dodge. But I can still get this business on him. Right, well, I can still do 5 there, and 4 there, and the claw for another 3. He's in a bit of trouble. He doesn't seem to be very good at dealing the damage. And there's that burn. Right, he puts another silence on me, gets a dodge in, and does a bit of damage. Ouch, was that double weaken? Yeah, he's going to weaken 2 things. So sword is now max 3, which is a bit on the unfortunate side. Claw's also... Claw now loses poison. I can still attack with it, but it loses the poison. Okay. Bump the 5 to a 6. Now throw just the burn at him to get rid of that. Now hit him with the spiked shield. Now... How do I do anything? The silence is going to screw me over, actually. Yeah, now it's max 3. And now, okay. Well, I've got no choice but to just basically burn the silence to convert this into either an odd or a low number. Right, it's a low number, so just take the sword, I guess. Right, 2 damage. Actually, the poison might kill him. Yep, poison finishes him off anyway, so that's fine. So, still at that, I am now at max level. I am truly mighty. Down to floor number... Well, final floor. So what's down here, I now wonder? That's 7 health, so leave that. Right, take another upgrade. Claw or matchstick? Screw it. Upgrade the claw. I like the claw. The claw's pretty good. So now claw can do up to 4 damage. Now there is... oh dear, the Girl Scout boss. Well, max out my health then. It is time for our final challenge. A Girl Scout who has 5 dice. She's immune to being frozen, as Girl Scouts, of course, are in the real world, so that makes sense. She's got 5 dice. I don't know how powerful she is, but that's a damn good roll to start me off with. I haven't actually got Fury. I should have saved up Fury, but I didn't realise the final boss was right flipping here. Okay, what can we do here? Straight away, we probably want to do... Well, maybe I want to play defensively. I could put the 5 into the spiked shield just to get some defense up. Honestly, that feels kind of sensible to me. Let's actually boost the 3 to a 4 and get the 4 on poison. And then I can just, if I just re-roll this to an odd, there we go. I can now put double burn on her. So that's basically an extra 2 damage off the poison and 4 damage off the actual burn if she chooses to use that. Right, let's have a little look, see what she actually got, by the way. Not a great roll from her. And campfire. Okay, so she does a lot of burn damage, a bit of normal damage, and can also repeat her next attack. So whatever she's going to do next, she can repeat if she sacrifices 12, and she's got 5 dice, so she can pull that off. She's also put 1 burn on me. Okay, interesting. I'm not ready for Fury yet either. Okay, the best I can probably do then is, do the straight up damage to her. She's getting close to half health. I should be able to get down to half. I'm actually sitting on... Okay, I need to potentially... Okay, bump this to 5. Get the 5 shield back up. And now, probably, put that on her, and then actually leave that dice. Yeah, don't touch it while it's burning. So she goes down to 32, and if she takes the burn, that's 30. So she's just put a bit of... Ouch, she's got through my shield, and she's put burn on me. She can't actually repeat her attack just yet. Fine, so I've got a double burn on me right now. This is going pretty well, actually. I'm pretty happy with how this is all looking. Okay, what's up next? I'm not quite ready for my double attack yet, but I will be soon. I'm just going to re-roll. Come on. You know what? I had a really good first roll, so this is fair. If I touch that, that becomes a 5. Okay, boost that to 5 just for the sake of getting the shield back up again. This 3 could go into the claw to keep the poison on her. And then I could put, the burn. And then just do a little light tap with the 2 damage. And at this point, probably stop poisoning her because that doesn't stack. It doesn't do it all at once. It just means poison for next 4 turns. There's probably not going to be another 4 turns. Now, I am ready for Fury. So next time I can actually get myself a 6, we'll be in good shape. She's got the even, but it doesn't do much because it was a low roll. And in comes the second attack. Yeah, okay, so second attack next time. Okay, now I'm ready to, hopefully, kill her in one go. Boost the 5 to a 6. Hit the Fury. Go in for the double upgraded sword attack. Down to 7. Okay, that's too low. Right, start re-rolling. If I get lucky on the re-rolls, 3. Yeah, that'll do. 3 there. Now I just need to, if this could become a 4. This could become... No, it doesn't need to be. It doesn't need to be because she's got the poison. But if I happen to get it, that's a 6. 6 doesn't it? No, 6 was perfect. Why didn't I just take the 6? Right, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because that's 2. Poison will kill her. And now, boom! I have defeated the Girl Scout. Bum, 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 bum. Excellent. Now, what's downstairs? Exactly. Congratulations! I have completed the alpha! And it is indeed still a work in progress. But there's a bit more to it than that. You see, each dice actually plays really rather differently. So, for example, let's move over to the Thief for a second. I like the Thief. The Thief is kind of fun. So his starting equipment is the dagger, so max 3, and therefore can just be used over and over and over again, together with the lockpick, so he can split a dice in 2. You don't get to choose how it's done, so if you put a 6 in there, you could get a 4 and a 2, or you could get a 3 and a 3. So there's a little bit of luck to that. But he has one other very fun ability too. If we go over to Vacuum level 1, and we just load this up, you may now notice he's got an ability we haven't seen. He's got Bloodsuck, which is the Vacuum's ability. At the start of every round, the Thief gets to use, at random, one of his enemy's abilities, which is kind of cool, I'd say. So on this occasion, he probably just wants to go straight in for... Actually, there's no point going for the bloodsuck. You may as well just go for the dagger. He's at full health. So just go for the double hit right there, which is beautiful. He can't actually use his bloodsuck because he's on 6 as a result of that. Now, yeah, this 5's not very useful to me. So I can just put the 3 in there and then divide that up into a 1 and a 4. So slightly unlucky there because, yeah, the 1 can go into here. So if I didn't have the bloodsuck, I wouldn't be able to do anything. But with the bloodsuck, I can just basically drain him down, get a bit of health back, except I don't because I'm already at full health, and that works just flipping beautifully. So the Thief has got some really fun stuff going on. Though, of course, he can just have every ability same as everyone else. So he has got himself a bump right there, and we've got ourselves a wolf puppy as well, who is strong against poison, so that's good to know. So here we go. So big rolls don't actually work necessarily that well for me, to be honest, because my dagger can only go up to a 3. So I'm going to divide that 5 and hope for anything other than a 4 and a 1. There we go. So a 2 and a 3 means I can basically just use this right here, which is marvellous. And then I can put in any even. So I've got the 6 right here for another 2. So that's his Wolf Puppy Bite, which is his ability. I don't know if he's got more than 1. Yeah, so I could get Wolf Wolf or I could get the Bite. It's basically pure chance. So on this occasion, I happen to have drawn Wolf Puppy Bite again. So, okay. Best thing I can probably do is... Yeah, if I put this 4 into here, that's worth 2 damage. However, if I could split the 4 up into a 2 and a 2, that means it's 2 damage and 2 damage for 4 damage total, so that's a much better way of doing it. So sometimes they're not always that helpful, the enemy abilities, but sometimes they can be really useful. And it just makes the Thief a very interesting class, the fact that he's constantly basically utilising other people's abilities against them. So we've got the Alchemist over here. You've got some fun abilities. Yeah, so one of the Alchemist potions is the Bear Potion. Transform into a bear. Okay, that's fun. I kind of wish I... Oh, I can do that. Hang on. Boost that. Right, I've decided I would like to become a bear, please. So, now I'm a bear. Sadly, I don't actually have any spare dice, so that hasn't worked out so well for me. But yeah, if I did have a spare dice, I could just do that dice plus 2 with them all. Do I get to stay as a bear until I bear? I don't know. And now she's actually, yeah, she's rolled very well there. So she actually does 4 damage. Am I still a bear? I'm still a bear! Right, okay, so now I can just basically start mauling her as a bear. Though I can't do anything with this because all I've got is the maul ability. So now I'm just a bear at this exact moment in time. And now she's going to start... Actually, you know what? I think I would be doing more damage if I wasn't a bear. And she's also burning me as well. Though I've got... Ooh, Bear Smash. Right, you get a special ability when you're a bear. Because that's not normally your normal Thief ability. Your normal Thief ability is roll 4 wands. Which obviously you can just put straight into Dagger for another 4 damage if that's what you want to do. But the Thief really specialises with low rolls. So, you know, with things like the Dagger, he probably works quite well with the Claw. And if you can find other abilities that have low maxes, being able to basically guarantee a roll of 4 wands whenever you want can mean, yeah, special rare abilities can actually be quite useful to you. But on this occasion, I've got Bear Smash, and then I can finish you off with them all right there. But that's really cool, and sadly, can't quite kill the Alchemist this round. I'm not sure what happens if the Alchemist literally runs out of potions, by the way. Oh, of course, Bear Potion is last. So as a result of being last, then she just goes into Bear Smash on an ongoing basis. So one more Bear Maul, and there we go. Bear has now won. Wait, am I permanently a bear now? Oh, flip, I'm just a bear. I'm now actually permanently a bear. The Thief, by stealing the Bear Potion, can become a bear. Presumably forever. So, yeah, there's a second maul, or bear roar. I'm just going to take a second one there. Okay, so... Okay, I didn't know that about this game. I'm now a bear forever. I'm just spending the rest of this game as a bear. So... Now, basically, I just smash everything forever. That's... Okay, I already love this game. I already love this game because that's a thing I can do. I can just become a mega bear forever. But if you go up to a chest as a bear, you just bear smash it. Though I do have the... Okay, I don't have an equipment screen anymore. I've just got a roar button. I love that this has been... I just literally smashed the shop. I can eat the apple, though. I can eat the apple. This is slightly ridiculous and I absolutely flipping love it. That now I'm just playing as a barbarian class and it's basically just a secret. And the only way to do it is to steal a sorcerer's bear potion. And then you're just a bear. Right, so bear smash, bear maul, hipster sorceress is dead. Okay, the bear, as it turns out, is pretty bloody strong. Oh, and the bear can also bear charge for repeating the next attack and also hibernate for, yeah, recovering health. I'll take a health recovery, sure. So it turns out the bear is ludicrously powerful. So I upgraded my maul to now do +4 damage over any roll whatsoever. So, you know, I can just do 9 damage to her off of 5 immediately. And then another 10 off bear smashes. She's already lost a third of her health. So, would you believe, bears actually do pretty well against Girl Scouts, all things considered. And I've just got healing on an ongoing basis. And just, you know, spare dice, because screw it. This is, yeah, quite frankly a little bit unfair. I feel like the bear is just going to tear this poor Girl Scout apart. Though she is on fury right now. Oh, but I've got a 6. I've got a 6. So that is 10 damage right there. And then there's another 6 damage right there. And then I can just start basically healing off the damage and basically not bother touching your burnt die. So yeah, redundant die useful, because then you can ignore burning die. So she is campfiring, but I am most definitely winning. I am most definitely tearing this poor Girl Scout apart, in fact. So there's another 10. There's another 8. Now just heal off. Ignore the burning dice, so one of her most powerful abilities does nothing of all the redundant dice. Oh, that's not a good roll for you. But you do get a Girl Scout cookie for repeating the next attack, so she's got that ready. But honestly, I'm afraid there's not going to be another round, because as it turns out, the bear is absolutely flipping amazing. Meanwhile, over on the right, there's the robot. I love the robot. The robot's really fun and interesting and very different. So the robot, you may note, doesn't actually appear to have any dice. Instead, he's got a CPU level of 9. So if we go over to our good old friend, the vacuum, my target is 9. So if I actually run a calculate right now, I'm going to roll a dice between 1 and 6. Now, because I rolled a 4, I'm up to 4. I am allowed to keep going until I hit 9. If I hit 9, then I get a bonus. If I stop short of 9, that's absolutely fine. If I go over 9, all my abilities are immediately burnt. So you're playing a probability game. So with 5 to go, it's probably safe for me to roll another dice. And there we go, I got another 4. So it would be very dangerous for me to roll again, so I do not get the bonus ability. So now what I've got to play with is a 4 and a 4. But in theory, a robot could actually end up with, say, 9 ones. You could end up with 9 dice. So you choose to play this guy is very up for interpretation. There's a lot of interesting options. So this is an even, so do 3 damage, and then it actually adds 1 every time I do a new roll. So every time I hit calculate in this case. So that is going to do 3 damage. Now, I can't do anything with this dice, so I may as well calculate, because on the 1 in 6 chance I get a 1, I'll actually get the bonus abilities, and 2, I'll actually be able to use my Plasma Blaster for 1 more damage. And no, that hit error 13, because that was actually too high, so as a result, that burns all my remaining abilities. He uses Blood Suck to get a bit of his health back, and yeah, he could actually be a bit annoying to take out. Ideally, I need to get myself a... Wait, hang on, that says max 5. Oh, I could have just put the... Right, okay, I just totally misread that. And now, this is awkward. So I can do 3 damage, but he'll just basically... Well, unless he rolls too high, because he's got a max 4 on his Blood Suck. I may as well commit this dice right now. Okay, that's going to commit that dice. Now it's just basically a coin flip, and I get myself a 1, which doesn't actually help again, and errors out. Fine, unfortunate. So he's got a 6, so we can't do anything, so he can't Blood Suck on this occasion. Fine, so 2. Oh, now we're getting risky. I could take the 3 and the 2 and say that's fine, or I could take the 3 and then gamble. I'm going to take the 3 and I'm going to gamble. There's another 1, and no, that was 6, error of 12. Fine. He actually gets to do a Blood Suck for 3. So the robot can be very powerful, or the robot can actually be quite difficult to use. And that is... Sadly, that 6 isn't very useful to me right now, because that gets stronger every time I hit calculate. So right now it's not doing that much damage. But I may as well throw it in right now, so the Plasma Blaster's a max of 5. And that was a 5, so that did nothing. So the robot's having a bit of a difficult time here. But the robot can be very, very strong indeed if you just happen to get lucky. And one thing I did want to show off there, yes indeed, if you do actually manage to hit your 9, and this is something potentially worth gambling on, then you get yourself a choice of things. You can either get 3 health back, roll another die, or get yourself a lucky shot for basically just 5 free damage. So I see no reason not to do that, and then this actually gets 4 damage right over there, which is lovely, and then that finishes him off. So yeah, actually, we took the vacuum down from basically full health to nothing in a single swing, so we got lucky, but before that, we were really struggling with a basic level 1 robot. So the robot's really kind of cool. And yeah, the robot gets, the pea shooter. I hate the pea shooter. The pea shooter is kind of garbage. But yeah, the robot is really interesting. And when he levels up, his CPU level goes higher. So I think level 2 is CPU 11, if I recall correctly. The last two characters are a lot more tricky to get your head around, the witch in particular. So yeah, the inventor, one of the other classes, he starts off with some rather interesting stuff here. A hammer and a bunch of scrap metal. So let's just go over to a Robobot level 1. Those guys are nice and easy to take care of. So, he starts off with a hammer, which looks really, really damn strong. So, does damage equivalent to roll, anything can go in it, and if you happen to roll a 6, it actually does shock damage. So it really slows down the enemy as well. So that's really, really damn good. Scrap metal, meanwhile, you can actually just basically put anything into that, and that gives you +1 shield. Meanwhile, he's also got a gadget, so he can flee any fight just using the jetpack. So, if you're in a lot of trouble, could be very, very useful indeed. That guy can basically not do anything to me, absolutely flippin' marvellous, so just keep wailing on him for a while. Except for one rather interesting thing. When the fight ends, something very peculiar happens, which is the inventor gets bored. You throw away your boring old gadget, you're inspired to create a new gadget. Choose an item to destroy for parts. So in other words, the jetpack is not going to be there in the next fight. Instead, you're going to swap out your gadget, which is basically just a free use thing you can use every turn, for something else. And depending on what you break down, that depends on what your next special ability is going to be. So the scrap metals can just be broken down, and they weren't that good anyway. For a barricade, a free shield +3, which is actually pretty good. If you're willing to break down your really cool hammer, then you can put 3 shock damage, basically slowing down the enemy massively, because they're going to have to use loads of their dice just to basically break the shock. Absolutely for free every single turn, which is ludicrously powerful, but you'll want to break that down. The inventor serially gets bored at the end of every fight, breaks down his gadget and wants a new thing. So instead we'll just break down one of those scrap metals right there. So now if I go over to, and also we'll just go over here as well, a spanner to combine dice. Sure, I will take that immediately. Go over to a magician over here. And yeah, now you see, we've got ourselves a barricade. I can just hit that for free, doesn't use any dice, and just gives me 3 shield. Very, very powerful indeed. So we've also got this over here, and this over here. Lovely. And this is quite useful. Using my spanner, I can actually combine these two together into a 5 for a bit more damage onto this guy in order to kill him this turn rather than next. Lovely. So once again, I've now got to choose an upgrade. So my spanner can become a battle wrench, so I can basically for free guarantee the combination of all of my dice, which is, what happens if it's equal to more than 6? Oh, I don't know. Or scrap metal becomes barricade again. I'm just going to actually use up the scrap metal. I'm just going to use up the scrap metal. So the scrap metal's a bit of a freebie. And I've also got a sword. Sword is kind of fun. So yeah, we get into a very interesting situation with this very, very quickly indeed. And there's another dagger. Equip that now too. We've got a space. Oh, I love the Space Marines. Space Marines have only one attack, which is a countdown from 20. And if they actually manage to fill it up, they really flipping hurt. So I can just barricade for free. I can put a shock on you, which is very, very nice indeed. And actually, this 6 is kind of useless to me, because that's max 5, that's max 3, and that's a combiner. So actually, 6 is something I do not want to roll, which is unfortunate. So yeah, he needs to waste a dice just opening that up again. Then he can start putting that into there. But yeah, 10 damage. That thing flipping hurts. So we'll just barricade again, do 6 and shock, and then honestly these two are the same when it's a 3, so he's almost dead already. If he gets really lucky on this roll, he might be able to fire. No, he cannot fire. Uses the 1 to free up the shock, and then down to 6, so I can kill him right now. But now I'm out of scrap metal. So now I need to start sacrificing, you know, good things. So he gets finished off. Now as a result of that, I'm bored and want to change out my actual gadget. So, I mean, they're really good, but you only get them for one fight, so you have to swap them out for something else. So he wants to upgrade the sword into a plasma gun, so free 5 damage every single turn is great. Combine all of my dice or do 3 equipment, but I'm throwing away good stuff to flipping do it. And they also get, oh, a flamethrower. Okay, that just sounds quite fun. And double the dice value. Ooh. Okay, 1 to a 2, a 2 to a 4, or a 3 to a 6. Okay, you're fun as well. We'll just put that in the backpack. So yeah, the inventor gets a lot of fun toys, and his equipment is constantly swapping out and changing. Though conveniently, you do occasionally find some scrap metal just actually inside chests, which means if you find something that you really like, you can just burn the scrap metal rather than having to burn something that's really cool. Though, of course, while that means you can actually avoid burning the equipment, you still actually do have to burn your actual gadget. The gadgets are always one turn only, unless you can find a second piece of identical equipment to convert into the same gadget, I suppose. And finally, the witch. Now, the witch is really confusing. I haven't got my head fully around the witch yet. So the witch, rather than actually having anything like we've seen so far, instead, she has a spell book with 4 slots available in it. The chests give her new spells meanwhile, so you can actually choose to learn that spell and assign that spell to a particular slot. So, for example, 3 doesn't have anything on it right now, so I'm going to learn the magic shield spell that I just pulled out of a chest. So starting off with only 1 cauldron available, I can do 1 damage and get a new dice if I throw anything into that. Or, alternatively, I could take any of my dice that match up with my spellbook and bring something new out onto the field using that. So 5s aren't that useful to me, because it doesn't matter what I throw into this cauldron, it still only does 1 damage and gets me a new dice. And there's nothing on 5, so 5 doesn't get me any new spells out on the field. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to spend my 1 over here and summon a second cauldron. So I'm going to put both of my 5s into the cauldron, because that is going to get me new dice, though unfortunately it's another bloody 5, which is not very convenient. That gets me a 1, however. The 1 goes back into the spellbook. That gets me another cauldron I now pull onto the field. And now I can actually put this here 5 into the cauldron. That gets me a 6. Now the 6 I can't do anything with, so the witch has the unique ability to throw a dice to do 1 damage if she's left over with dice that she can't actually do anything with. So we've done in total 4 damage, but you can see the witch is a lot harder to get your head around, and unfortunately it was nothing but cauldrons on this occasion. So he meanwhile is going to do 3 damage to me and undo most of the highly complicated stuff I just did. But now I've got a 2, so I can summon an affliction onto the field, but I've only got 4 slots, so if I wanted to summon 4 different spells, I'd have to cover up some of my existing cauldrons. So anything on an affliction does 3 damage, which is pretty generous because it requires more setup. So I can put a single 1 into affliction, and there's 3 damage right there. Put a 2 into the cauldron, that summons a 6 and gets me something else. Do that. So yeah, cauldrons can chain pretty effectively, which is kind of nice. So okay, hang on. I need to put this into here to summon the 4 to hit him with the 4. But yeah, the witch is by far the most complicated character. I find her a little bit difficult to use as well. I'm not 100% sure about her. Especially as, yeah, in this occasion, I can just basically throw dice. I don't need to worry about her spells at all. So yeah, the witch is definitely tricky, but very interesting. And there's another chest, by the way. So she can have a bump. That's fine. We'll put bump onto 4, so that's very, very good indeed, and move over to one of the frogs with a big old sword. So once again with 3, but now I can summon more stuff. So I probably want to summon an affliction, because affliction's very, very useful indeed. Cauldron does 1 damage and gets me an additional dice. This actually will get me another cauldron. So get another cauldron onto the field. Do the 1 damage and summon additional dice, and then I can use well, I could summon a magic shield ready for next time, or I can just do 3 damage. I'll probably just take the 3. I've got no spare dice. So I've done 5 damage that round. He's just going to do 6, because, you know, rather than just faffing around with spells, he just whacked me with a sword, which turned out to work pretty nicely, all things considered. So I could get bump onto the field if I wanted to, but honestly, probably not the best thing in the world. Probably the best thing for me is actually summon Affliction 2, and then just go for double Affliction. So that's 6 damage. So the witch, if you can set her up correctly, can do crazy damage, but she definitely leaves you a little bit on the head-scratching side occasionally. Oh, and just in case the witch wasn't hard enough to follow, there is a special Sorceress Guild that you can join. So if you actually choose to join the Sorceress Guild, you'll lose the use of a spell slot, but instead that slot will just contain something completely random. So just basically there'll just be some random new thing floating around every single turn. Just in case everything wasn't wacky enough. So yeah, you can just put a whole bunch of wacky stuff here. Oh, magic missile's actually quite good. Any even equaling 5. I'll get rid of bump for that, for example. And obviously she can also buy spells in the shop, same as everyone else, though some of these don't feel like spells. Lockpick isn't really a spell, to be honest, but you know, let's just leave that be. So yeah, if I just go over to this alchemist over here, good old alchemist, now I've just picked up, what have I got here? I've just got randomly iron armor now. So I've now only got 3 spots for my spellbooks to be pulled onto the field, but now there's just something else here instead. which I've never seen before. So just, you know, if I could put 14 into that, I'd get iron armor, which is fascinating. So probably just, you know, get another cauldron onto the field, so I can just basically convert that into 2 damage and 2 additional dice. Gives me a few new options. That gets me magic missile, which is quite good. Get magic missile onto the field for 5 damage there, and yes. It just gets a little bit on the confused side. I think, does that even change every turn? I think it might do, you know. She managed to... no, she's 1 off Spiky Potion. That actually... No, it changes. Every single round, there's just a new random thing for the witch if you choose to join the Sorcerer's Guild, if you truly want your game to be just completely cocking nuts. So if you can get a couple of cauldrons on the field, that is basically just a free couple of damage and a shuffle of your dice, but it leaves less space for everything else. Yeah, the witch is weird. Oh, and I forgot to mention, her special ability is Crystal Ball. So she can just toss an extra 3 dice out there just to make things even more bloody confusing. So, on this occasion, yeah, probably want to get a magic missile out onto the field, which requires an even to utilize, and then maybe an affliction would be quite useful to get out as well. That does 3 damage off anything, which is great. So now I've got myself a 3 and a 5, so I can summon a magic shield, but it doesn't tell you what the magic shield does. So if you can't remember what it does... I think Magic Shield 5 might be compatible, actually. So I can overwrite Infliction. Yeah, so that gets me 3 shield right there, and then spare dice can be thrown. So actually, if you're rolling 3, and then you just summon another 3, you can do 6 damage guaranteed just by throwing every single dice, which might actually be more than you're capable of doing after all your abilities, and all of that business. Yeah, the witch is tricky to understand. But you know, ladies and gentlemen, I think you get the point. This is Dicey Dungeons, or rather it isn't. This is like, you know, early alpha demo thing of Dicey Dungeons, but it's already great fun, it's already really interesting. There's already flipping secret characters if you manage to manipulate yourself into becoming a bear, which is just absolutely wonderful, and I flipping love it. Yeah, I think you might well see this one again when it's actually done. I think they're getting, you know, close-ish to thinking about releasing this. It's definitely looking very, very polished indeed as far as I'm concerned. But oh yeah, good stuff, good stuff. And from this team, I would expect no less. So we'll leave things off there, but you may well see this again. In the meantime, I've been James. There's been many a true nerd, and this has been the really rather excellent Dicey Dungeons. Thank you very much, and goodbye. I've created a small problem in my road system, which is it's literally impossible for anyone to ever go back into town. And this building shall be where we produce our zebras. And this much taller building next door is naturally where we produce the giraffes. Does anyone remember how the road system went? I think it was something like this.